Hello, today I'm going to teach you how to play Game of Trains. This is a really fun card game for 2 to 4 players by Brain Games. And in the game you have a deck of cards and they are numbered 1 to 88. At the start of your turn, at the start of the game, you're going to deal each player 7 cards randomly from the deck. And then you're going to turn the cards face up and you're going to arrange them in order from highest card to lowest card. So reverse order basically. So 64, 51, 50, 27, 16, 13, 12. Alright, so once the cards are arranged in order from highest to lowest, then we can begin. The start player is going to draw one card from the deck, look at it, choose to place it anywhere in their line, and then they replace it with whatever card was there face up to the center. Now, the goal of the game is to get your cards, instead of going from high to low, to go from low to high. So putting this card here is a good move because this is lower than this one, so that's great. I'm already on the right path, basically. The second player will draw 2 cards, look at one of them, look at both of them, choose one of them to put in their line. Again, when they put it in their line, that card goes face up to this center pile here, and then whatever card she doesn't use gets discarded, face down without showing anybody. If there was a third or a fourth player, the third player would draw 3, again choosing 1. Fourth player choosing 4, looking at 4, choosing 1 to put in their line, and then putting the other one face up into this pile here. So once everybody's done that initial setup, you take turns doing one of 2 actions. The first action you can do is just to draw a card and then replace one of the cards in your line with this card. So I would replace this 48 with this 16. And then you put the card into the center here. The second action you can do is to use one of the actions, one of the abilities that are on the cards that are face up in the center. There's 8 different abilities that you can use, and they all essentially modify the placement that you can put things in your row. If there are ever 2 cards with the same ability face up in this row here, both cards would get discarded face down, and then you continue. At the end of a turn, if anybody ever completes their line from low to high first, they win. This locomotive card is just there for show. It doesn't really, it's just to show you that this is the beginning of your train, and then it kind of goes along the line there. So anyways, so if you're not drawing a card from the deck, you're using one of these abilities, and when you use it, you would discard it. So the abilities, I'll describe them now. This one allows you to move a single card 2 spaces to the right. Now it has to be able to move 2 spaces to the right, so you couldn't use this card, or this card, but you could use this card. So you could take that, move it 2 spaces. I'm sorry, I guess you could have used this card. You can't use this card, you could take that, move it 2 spaces. And then you have this set up like that. This card allows you to move card 2 spaces to the left. Similarly, you can't use the first 2 cards because they don't have 2 spaces to move, but you could use the third card on down the line. So take that, move it here, do that. The other card you can use, this is you swap the positions of 2 cards on your in your row that have 1 space apart from each other. So I could take these 2 cards and swap them. Okay. The other card that you can do, this one allows you to swap 2 cards that are next to each other. So same thing, swap 2 cards. Now these 3, actually I should say these 4, all sort of work together. Now, this card says if you use this ability, all of the players that are playing have to trash their leftmost card, and I'm sorry, trash meaning put to the center in a row. So all the players do that in turn order. If ever somebody had played another card again with the same two symbols, both of those cards would get discarded and you would keep going. So that makes you trash the card that's all the way to the left. So starting with the player who activated it, everybody puts their card to the center, and then again starting with the player who played it, they all draw a replacement card to go into that exact same spot. If somebody were to do that and then they win the game by that card placement, again, it's in turn order from the player who played the card, so that would determine a winner. It's not like everybody does it simultaneously. Okay, this next one, it trashes the middle card, which is 1, 2, 3, fourth card in the center there. 3 from the left, 3 from the right. And this one makes you trash the last card on the right. Now, those are all the trash cards. Now, if you wanted to, you can use this protect ability. So if this protect ability was out on the field, you can pick it up, and then you can protect one of your cards, either the leftmost, the middle, or the one on the right. So when you protect a card, you sort of slide it in under like that, and then that shows that it's protected. So it can never get trashed using one of the card abilities, but if you wanted to move it using one of these other abilities, you can still move the card, but when you move it, the protection, it goes away. So you have the ability to basically take the protection off of it by moving it, but otherwise nobody else can hurt you. I believe that is the game. If we ever run out of cards in the deck, you just shuffle up the discards and keep going. And also the discards are face down, meaning that you cannot look at them. So make sure that you keep it in your head basically as to what cards have been played and which ones haven't. Also, if there were ever no cards in the center of the table, you have to take the action of drawing a card and replacing something. And that is all. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks.